Well, this coming next week is going to be the anniversary date, 40-year anniversary date of Roe versus Wade, and I am so honored to have with us our special guest today, Chris Slattery. Boy, this guy gets around, and he is right on the front line, founder of Expectant Mother Care, better known as EMC Front Line Pregnancy Care Centers. He was honored with the Champion of Life Award, a pro-life tribute from the John Cardinal O'Connor, and has had the privilege of being a confirmation sponsor of the famous Dr. Bernard Nathanson. Of course, he's the producer of the acclaimed videos of The Silent Scream and The Eclipse of Reason. He's been so heavily involved in this. He's been sued. He's been called just about every name in the book. But here we are talking to him today on this upcoming anniversary date. And Chris, thank you for letting us have a few moments of your day.
Good day, Perry.
Listen, here we are, the 40th anniversary. Unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. It's tragic, but we move on.
All right. Now, does this particular date, the 40th anniversary, have any significance for you?
Well, it reminds me of the many marches that I've been attending. The March for Life, which started in 1974. I've been to most of them since 1980, and I always look forward to going. This year, we've delayed the march because of the inauguration of the president. So we have it on the 25th this year because there was no way to get permits for the rallies closer to the 22nd. But in recent years, there's been a whole collection of conferences, rallies, events on the weekends, the closest to the march.
All right. Is there any different agenda for the march this year than in the past?
I think you're seeing more conferences and events surrounding the march that are attracting more intense, long stays in the city. The past, you've seen just mainly day trips for most people and some lobbying at Congress, but there are many more involving conferences, overnight stays for young people that are getting them better prepared to work harder throughout the year.
Well, Chris, we're heading into 4 more years of an administration that's been anything but friendly to the life of the unborn. And what do you think's ahead for us in the next 4-year battle for the life of the unborn?
Well, I think we have to be a lot more assertive in taking control of communications. The other side did a very effective job of painting our side in the corner with hard cases. We have to do a lot more publicity about the damage that's being done to women by abortion. We have to do a lot more in the states to chip away at abortion by more legislation on fetal pain that's suffered by the babies during abortions, and more laws that require ultrasound in the performance of an abortion, that a woman gets to see before she makes the final decision what the baby looks like. We need to accentuate the positive impacts of the pregnancy centers. We saw 2 very good articles actually in the New York Times and Time magazine which accentuated the impact of pregnancy centers, which we've been working in since 1985. So there's a lot that can be done. I think despite the roadblock we have in the White House, we are making progress. More and more people are identifying themselves as pro-life. It's just that we have to translate that to the voting booth and be ready with the media that we have to spend money on advertising to get our message across.
You know, Chris, it appears we are winning perhaps the public debate in the abortion issue, but we are still losing it on the legislative side of things. But there seems to be some encouragement out there. More and more people are seeing that it's the taking of a human life, supported by documentaries and now all this other medical research. It appears we have maybe turned a corner here.
I think so. There are special circumstances that have given President Obama an edge, and I think after his term, we're going to fight on a plane where the issue is going to be a bigger advantage in the voting booth. I think that in the midterm elections coming up in 2 years, we're going to see further advances for the pro-life cause. We have the most pro-life House of Representatives in U.S. history. Mm-hmm. We have a House that's controlled by the Republicans, who are predominantly pro-life, and we have some of the best-led pro-life organizations, especially Susan B. Anthony List, Americans United for Life, based in Washington, that have been doing tremendous work, both legislatively and in promoting pro-life candidates. So I'm more encouraged, actually. I think that the battle with Obama is unifying our movement. I think it's possible that he won't get to replace any conservative Supreme Court justices, and we will have our day to replace any conservatives with, or if possible, replace some of the liberals in the next presidential term.
You know, what's so interesting here is that coming at us now is Obamacare and the HHS, the House and Health and Services, Human Health and Services mandates coming at the Catholic Church, and yet the Catholic Church and others taking very strong stance saying no. What do you think will be the effects of Obamacare on this debate?
I think we're going to see a victory in overturning the Health and Human Services mandate for religious institutions. I think there's good signs in recent Supreme Court decisions that protect religious rights that will bode well for a victory, ultimately, that will exempt large numbers of religious institutions and even corporations with a corporate conscience like Hobby Lobby. Mm-hmm. So I'm optimistic that while it's clear that the U.S. Supreme Court will have to take this HHS mandate case at some point, there are literally scores of cases that are going to come to a head, and they're going to be ultimately consolidated. It may be that they don't rule before August of this year, when the 1 year waiting period expires for religious organizations. But it's clear to me that when the court does take the case and does rule, we will win. And I was part of rallies that were organized in hundreds of cities mm-hmm. that were organized largely by Catholics that opposed this HHS mandate. And I was amazed to see over 60,000 people took to the streets on this issue, which may be a little bit obscure to the American public, but we saw unity amongst Catholics, Protestants, Jews, and other religions that came together for a fight of religious liberty.
All right, before I run out of time, how does your group, Front Line Pregnancies, how do you counsel women? How do you go about it?
Well, we reach women, amazingly now, almost exclusively through internet connections. Mm. And we're counseling 5,000 or 6,000 women a year in New York City, which is America's abortion capital. And we turn around about 50% of our clients who are considering an abortion to choose life.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And right now, we're looking at opening offices in Washington, D.C. and Miami as well.
What's your website?
It's emcfrontline.org.
emcfrontline.org. Okay. Hey, Chris, thank you. God bless you, my friend. Keep up the fight. Keep up the good work. And we're all hanging in there together until this is overturned.
Thanks very much. God bless you.
Yeah, see you later.